Hey everyone, and welcome back. This is round four of the fully loaded GT. This scenario is Salty Earth, and I am again up against a very good Forces of Nature list. Forces of Nature are probably high A tier, maybe S tier right now in fourth edition. I would say they borderline. I would say there's like a top three, right? There's kind of like Rakin, orcs, and gobos that are like that S tier, and I think Force of Nature are just like right up there with them. I actually think elves are kind of like right underneath Force of Nature. Anyway, so this is round four. I'm against the awesome, wonderful, great person, Keith Conroy, of Masters fame. He is a former master here. Former, I don't. I think I don't think you ever lose that title. I think you're always a master. So it was great to play him again. He's a good friend of myself and a good friend of Nerdhammer. And yeah, so let's get into it. This is my list. It's Way Dancer. It's a Army Battle Standard Bear with Heal 4, a Mage on Horse with Blizzard, 2 Palace Guard, 1 with Wrath. We got 2 Critters. We have Stormwind Cav with Jesse Boots, 3 Glade Stalkers. We got a Dracon Regiment with the Brew of Haze because 20 inches is great. And 2 Dragon Breasts. Yeah, pretty simple. And his list, he has two different battalions. The first battalion has 2 druids. They have heal and scorched earth. One has a bane chant. And he has a regiment of tribal warriors. Nice little kind of like chaffy unit, just to hold down objectives and stuff. 3 longhorns. Longhorns are excellent this edition. I absolutely love them. I the army that always got away from me in Warhammer was Beastmen. I loved Beastmen. I loved the look of Beastmen, and to see them like on the table again is a wonderful nostalgic feeling for me. And they are jerks. He has 4 critters. I mean, what's better than 2 critters or 3 critters? 4 critters. He has a regiment of air elementals with the blessing of the gods. Now, this list that I pulled from the website isn't the exact list he had. I think he swapped out a greater air elemental for another regiment of air elementals. The points are about the same. He has a beast of nature that has flying. In the second battalion, he has a druid on a steed with Bane Chant and heal. So that druid can really like move around, get around places where it needs to, get that heal to where it needs to be, get that Bane Chant more importantly to where it needs to be. He has a horde of tribal warriors with Brew of Sharpness. That's a pretty little nasty, scary unit. 3 hits on 3s with 25 attacks and it's thunder 1. It's basically it's a good unit. And it moves 6. It's like a Palace Guard unit almost without the elite. Because elves do cool stuff. Forest Shamblers. Regiment of Forest Shamblers. Yeah, so that's his entire list. The command orders, Blessing of the Lady, they actually get to heal in commands, which I really like. I've been looking at the X Dogs, and I really like that they have that heal in there because they're like a non-magic. Anyway, that's a different story for a different time. And then nature traits, what gives a unit Strider, which Strider's amazing. You have a command that gives Strider out, you're in good shape. So on the left side of the board here, we are playing Salty Earth, so you see one of the salty areas. This unit here of Forest Shamblers isn't placed yet. They end up being like right here. I was a little quick with the picture. This is a unit of critters. This these dwarves are stepping in for air elementals. He said he has some new air elementals that are on his paint table, which is cool. Can't wait to see those. Tucked in behind, this is flat terrain with 2 walls. This is a really weird setup. These little mushrooms here, this is a forest. And in the center, he has another air elementals. He has a critters. This is his druid on his mount. These are longhorns. This is his tribal warriors with the horde of tribal warriors. This is the tribal warrior regiment, TR, not Trident Realms. Longhorns and another critters, another critter. Longhorns here and longhorns here. And this is an impassable building, and this is woods. And you see 2 salty earth tokens right there. There's we're right by a window, so there's a couple pictures that are in the sun. I did my best to like color correct them to make them not look as stark. This being one of them. Anyway, so my cav is there. My 3 glade stalkers. There's my mage. I don't remember. I think she has to move to get up on the hill here. because this is after my scout move. I don't think her center point's on the hill there. Critters, Dragon Breath, Horde of Palace Guard with the Chalice of Wrath. They are kind of locking down one of the Salty Earth tokens. There's another Salty Earth token. In the middle, we have this impassable terrain that we're about to see. So deployment wise, I'm thinking like obviously Glade Stalkers love the hill. They love to be able to get over the top of cover, and that's why I locked it down. That's why I put one of the Salty Earth objectives there. I hear my dogs barking upstairs. So this is before I go to work today because I have to work a little later. So the whole family's out of the house. I'm like, oh, I can record a battle report. But my dogs can kind of hear me, and they're going to go nuts for a little while probably. You might not hear it on the mic because my mic's pretty decent. Anyway, there's my battle standard bear. Just chilling there with a horde of palace guard. This is a nice little kind of like alleyway for them. This flank is protected, but it really doesn't need to be because I have so much on this side. But there is a nice little corridor for them to be able to see this direction if they need to. There's a hill here kind of protecting them from, like, Longhorns can't really see over it. We have the center Salty Earth token right there. I have my critters here on this flank and my Dracon on this flank also with a Dragon Breath. So the idea is I hope I have a overall shot of the board. Yeah. Don't mind my messy pile of dice. I'm very organized. This was just kind of like I throw my stuff in my bag, and when I get to the table, I dump it out. I always have 10 black dice. I always have 10 blue dice, and I always have 5 green dice. That way I can pick up, like, if I need 12 dice, I pick up 10 and 2 blue. It's just really pick up all my black and then 2 blue. And then these are my wound markers that are different size, and they go in a tray. But typically they get more organized. It's actually killing me that they're just all over the table right here in this picture. Anyway, so my idea is like this marker over here, a little shot of the board. The Salty Earth token on the left, he's just going to lock that one down. He has critters. My idea is if I can handle a lot of stuff in the center here, my critters might be able to threaten his critters. My Dragon Breath could kind of overgo that way to try to get that Salty Earth token, or at least threaten it enough that he burns it. But I'm not going to send a lot of resources, right? Because now he has his forest shamblers over there, and he has critters. So there's 2 units out of his army that are kind of like not gonna play in the game. So I'm kind of like up those points, right? When you think of it, like 65 points for the critters, shamblers are 165 points. So there's like 225 points or so, rough estimate, that aren't gonna participate. So that's important for me. I like that. So because I have 3 objectives here already that I'm very, very that are defensible, and I have this one in the middle. So really, I just need to put enough pressure on his main lines, like he might be able to lock those 2 down, and just fight for this one, right? Because he has 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So he needs to come to me, and I have the range threat. He doesn't have any range. So I'm going to be putting the pressure on him and applying the pressure. I think Force of Nature are very good, but I think my setup for what I have is capable to handle this list. So yeah, I mean that's the plan, and best laid plans of mice and men. Anyway, all right. So I get the first turn. I start shooting. I go after this Longhorn unit, and I do 8 wounds to it, which is pretty decent. Longhorns are nerf 17, so I'm already starting to put a lot of pressure on. He does have a couple heals, so the objective is with shooting is like can I put more wounds on than he can heal off, and I have a decent amount of shooting. So and my shooting gets better the closer you get to me. So yeah, I mean I'm good with 8 to start. It's nothing crazy, but it does put pressure on those Longhorns, and I like shooting at defense 4. It feels pretty good. Not much else of consequence. I didn't even take a picture of my movement. I just moved up slightly. I have the range advantage, so I'm not in a hurry, and I'm already locking down 3 objectives. So yeah. On his side, he does move up on turn 1, so he's getting his critters in place and forest shamblers to help support them if I do go that direction, which I think it's good. He's already he needs to lock down 3 and fight for the middle. I mean that's kind of the name of the game here, and so he's making sure he has that one for sure. Air elementals come up. They're sitting on a fence here. This is his druid on horse. She comes over here to help support this flank. And air elementals and critters, up against the hill. The air elementals can actually see over the hill. They have a nice little feature called Leaper, so that makes them height 4 for line of sight issues. Longhorn's there. In the center, he pushes his tribal warrior horde into the woods. He can always cast Strider and fire those guys out, which is a great command order to have. And the Longhorns that I was shooting at decide to tuck in behind, at least try to get some cover. The woods are around here somewhere, so he might be able to get into the woods there and use that cover against my Glade Stalkers and my Mage. Excuse me. The Tribal Warrior Regiment just shuffles over. His Longhorn unit comes this way, along with his Beast of Nature, and then Critters here to chop up anything that wants to come in that way. So yeah, not much. He doesn't have any shooting. He does probably cast like Scorched Earth, which is actually a really good spell against like my Cav because they can't even pop Jesse boots. So the Beast of Nature does have fly. It has a 7-inch range, 14-inch range. So yeah, I mean, I can't. He's not threatening anything just yet, and I'm not really excited about shooting a Beast of Nature, because the more you hit it, the more attacks it gets, and like that's kind of what it wants to do. It wants to get a lot of attacks, get some wounds on it, and he can always play that game with his heal, right? Like, okay, Beast of Nature is getting a little too many wounds on him. I can heal him back a little bit. I lose attacks, but maybe he's not attacking at that turn, and you can kind of have like a delicate balance with the Beast of Nature, which is a lot of fun. Turn 2, me. So yeah, just kind of fixing my lines, determining how I'm going to approach. I do have two greater air elementals that can see me and fly in. The good thing is they're still far away enough that like surge possibilities are probably out because they can only fly 10 and pivot once. So I bring my critters up. I think these guys are actually already in range in the front. So I bring the critters up just to make sure that I don't get double charged by greater air elementals. I don't know if the wild card is the Bane Chant, right? Like if he charges both in, gets two Bane Chants off, like that's a lot of attacks. Like 48 attacks on threes with Elite on one of them, and then on fours with the rest. Like that could get Palace Guard pretty close. And the way I'm sitting here, like there wouldn't be a whole lot that I would be able to counter. Like I wouldn't be able to fit. I would have to actually like withdraw these guys out past these and then charge in, which isn't actually a terrible plan. But then there's always going to be counterplay. Um, yeah, unless critters do something. So I put the critters there so that only like one air elemental can fit. I can handle one at a time. One's going to come in here, pop the critters and then reform some way. Maybe the Dracon can counter. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. But I'm under pressure already on this flank, and that's kind of what Keith needs to do. Um, he sees this as a more obtainable flank, I would imagine, and he needs to crush it so that he can start facing this direction, threaten this backfield. So this flank is extremely important for both of our plans to win this game because we need to get this middle objective for sure. And on this side, I move up like this. These guys were never going to be able to be on the hill with everybody else, so I think they halted. All these guys definitely halted, so that we get a little bonus on our shooting. And the Cav are just starting to get an alleyway here, and they're 18 inches. So I'm bringing some threat in. These guys were kind of lagging behind. I didn't really love where I put them, but I kind of needed them on this flank, and I had dropped basically all my shooting first, and I'm like, I don't really love where the Cav is, so I really got to kind of force up, and it makes sense because of the hill here that this unit would have to go up. I would have liked to push them up a little bit more aggressively, but he does have like a good alleyway here with a decent amount of threat. So I couldn't push them up as aggressively as I wanted them to be, so that I can kind of clear lines for the Cav here. That's going to be That's going to be interesting as the game goes on. I need to kind of get those guys into the game. In the center here, I'm just pushing my mage up and my dragon breath, getting ready to kind of pop him out this way if I need to, or this way if this flank starts coming in. I need to start getting those shots into play around turn 3, maybe 4. We'll see. Over here, I do cover shots. I do cover shots to the Longhorns. I get them up to 13. I get them wavered. They're a nerf 17, so I'm working on them. Now that they're in cover, it's a little tougher. And we go on to his turn 2. His critters lock down this objective. Now he's like, well, he's looking at me and saying, well, you're not coming over, so I'm going to bring these 4 Shamblers over for some late game activities. And this move kind of surprised me. Not really. He just he just makes sure the critters are gone. Like a snakes here would have been hilarious just for the sake of the craziness that can happen in the game. Um, Actually, it would have been terrible for me honestly if he snakes here because they can't withdraw because they're engaged on 2 flanks. So I don't even know what I could do. Can I? I don't even know if I like rules wise I can go like against that unit and then free up that unit. Kind of. I don't know if you can. I don't think he can face. That's a good question. I don't think the critters will be. Anyway, let's hope I don't have to deal with it. Uh, Druid comes this way to help with Bane Chance and do Druid things. And in the center, he brings his Longhorns up on a hill. Ooh, that's juicy now, right? Longhorns up on a hill. Their height to 5. And there's a dragon breath there. There's a dragon breath hanging out here. That's yummy. But I'm getting kind of like pushed in here, right? My palace guard doesn't have don't have a lot of room to maneuver. And yeah, we're just gonna have to see how that goes. Critters move up. Critters move up. He starts the chaff game, which is, yeah, it's a good idea, especially looking at Palace Guard, and then you have a good horde yourself looking at the Palace Guard. It looks like I did a wound here. I probably shot them if I couldn't get shots there, but nothing consequential. His other mage moves up here. His tribal warrior regiment moves over this way, obviously keeping them in reserve. Maybe they need to come up and fight. Maybe they need to lock down this objective here. Maybe they need to support over here. So he's leaving them some options in the back there. And another Longhorn unit is just kind of like locking down an objective as a second tier. He does move his Beast of Nature over, kind of giving up this flank, I guess. Not, no, 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 that's not true. Not giving up the flank. He's just applying more pressure to the center here, which I think it's a decent move. He still has critters and a Longhorn's able to lock down that side. It'll take me a lot of shooting to get a nerf 17 off to just like to kill that Longhorn unit up here in the corner with shooting is probably not going to happen. If I get that objective, I'm going to have to take it by force, I think. Just because they're going to have cover, hiding behind that hill and stuff. Yeah, so there's a better picture of it. Like right now, like, they don't have cover to that unit, but this unit is cover. This unit's cover because of this building here. This building here. So, maybe maybe I take the cav over there, try to handle them. But this center is getting pretty sticky. Like I wish I had my cav positioned a little bit better to support the center. Yeah, it's getting a little worrisome at the moment. Yep, his air elementals make short work of critters. I don't know why he was attacking those poor little critters, man. They were just little bunnies hanging out, not doing much, and this windstorm comes and absolutely decimates them all. This icon is my inspiring. Put inspiring there. You never know what happens. I mean, somehow my BSB dies and then they don't have inspiring. I don't want that to happen. And, there are points in the game in fourth edition where your command orders don't really come into play, but I still kind of make a habit of casting them because you just never know. Maybe I forget something. Maybe I forget he has like an awesome range attack that destroys somebody. I don't know. So his reform here, I think this is after reform. He doesn't really have a great reform. He can't really back up because of the Longhorns. He can't pivot over any way that really gets him to fit. If he backs up like this, yeah, I mean, these are kind of like I don't think the Dracon are in the flank. So yeah, and he doesn't want to like back up enough to give room for the Dracon because I mean it's a pretty tight position here. Um, yeah, my decisions are going to be tough. My turn three. So yeah, a lot happens here. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so this base here, this empty base, is my Palace Guard. So what I noticed was like this sucks. I might not pop them on one go because I'll be hindered. I mean, there was just no way that I could get anything over there to like shift them down. Um, and I didn't love it because if I shift too far, I didn't have like a lot of room. Actually, I don't even think I have any room. I think the base is like that. So what I realized was I was like, wow, I can pivot my unit enough that I can make contact here and then I could slide into place and be up against the critters. My reform isn't great, but it kind of, and then on top of it, my Dracon riders could not fit, like, they could fit here, of course, but they'd be hindered, and then I would have a greater air elemental in the flank. Wasn't crazy about that, but it would like kind of lock these guys down for a turn. And maybe I pop them, probably not. And I was kind of clocking on this, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, all right, well, maybe this flank is just lost. Maybe it's just lost, and I need to handle other things. I didn't like the prospect of like um, after I kill these critters of like having so much. Yeah, this there's multiple layers to this onion, right? Because you have to look at the whole board. The Palace Guard could have been multi-charged a few different ways. Beast of Nature, I mean, he could one-shot that Palace Guard unit. I didn't want that to happen after I kill the critters. So I'm thinking, like, how can I stop that multi-charge? I'm like, okay, well, if the Dracon go in here, they'll put a lot of wounds on those guys, but they won't kill them because they did come out of the forest, so it was a clean charge. I'm like, they'll do a lot of wounds there, so his counterplay isn't all that great. Like, he can't fit, you can only charge to the front. Like, maybe he could fit this Longhorn in and those guys and then kill that, but I'll still have the counter with the Palace Guard. These guys should have a decent amount of wounds on them. Um, that maybe they can be shot off next turn while I deal with other stuff. And if my Palace Guard Horde is here, that stops this unit from attacking there, and it stops not these guys particularly because they can fly, but it would stop this unit from doing anything. Like he needs to take care of the Palace Guard no matter what, and it would be pretty juicy flank. So there's a bunch of things going on here that I'm just like, well, and I think I have range to shoot. I think I have range to shoot here. I have clear here. I could lightning bolt here, so I can kind of put pressure on this unit also. Yeah, this was a big turn. This was a big turn. So there's a little better shot of it. I actually think one of these units, no, they don't have front arc. I think these guys end up shooting. I think the units on the hill end up shooting the Longhorns in the woods here, trying to get the rest of the points to get them off the table. But I am going to put my Dragon Breath into the Longhorns on the hill. Do as much as I possibly can. Maybe I get them wavered, and that makes things a little easier. Now, my reform isn't terrible, right? If I clean them, I actually can like pivot enough that I can get, I think, all of the air elementals in the front. That's important, and I looked at that before when I put them in place. I was kind of getting an idea, and I checked with Keith. I was like, look, if I stay on my center here, like, how does this look? He's like, yeah, you definitely have some room to pivot. So yeah, this took a little while. I don't know what the time on the clock is, but this is a huge part of the game. This is everything. So to clock, it's like, I don't know if any of y'all play chess, but like this is the moment where you're like, okay, I really need to think about this play. I need to slow my ass down and decide, like, because this is everything. This is the most important part. Anyway, I also bring my Cav out. Now they're able to threaten. There's no threat here because of the way the Longhorns are facing to try to get out of cover or to get into cover. So my Cav can come in and threaten. The Beast of Nature can't see them, so yeah. They finally got to a position. I would have liked them maybe there like a turn earlier, but they got into a position where they can actually help. And this is just the rest of the side. I still have chaff, right? So I still have critters back here. My other critters are gone, but this is like kind of my ace in the hole. If if all this goes great, then I have critters to chaff up something. Not the flyers, but something. Um, So, how to go? I do kill critters. Obviously, I kill his critters, and I do 9 wounds to longhorns and waver them. Yes. Yes. That helps get some of the pressure off, right? Because they're going to have to back up to allow, a multi-charge here. Actually, yeah. They can multi-charge the front. But he does have, so the good thing, all my plans, I'm like, yeah, but air elemental still can surge, so like this flank is exposed. There's nothing I can do about it. I mean, there's no more pivot that I can do. I'm at my max pivot here. Can't open it up anymore because of this impassable terrain. The Dracon go in. They do decent. I don't see how many wounds they did there, but they did all right. They didn't pop. So his turn 3. Let's see. Yes, my clock. We're 14 minutes apart now. Yeah, I took some time on that one. I had to. So good. I took a picture. They only did 7 wounds. Man, that seems low. 18 attacks on 3s and anything but. Yeah, to only do 7 there. Now he could have healed. This might have been after the heal. I'm not 100% sure. Um, so yeah. So air elementals. These guys from here flanked here, which is great because they couldn't fit into the flank of my Palace Guard. So yeah, the Dracon, and he also ended up putting a Beast of Nature in, and of course these guys are swinging back. So yeah, the Dracon, that might have been overkill, but well, I mean that's true. The Beast of Nature doesn't have any wounds on it, so yeah, just making sure. And it also brings his air elementals into the center, which can definitely help. He decides to flank with just one earth or air elemental. So it was kind of like a switcheroo, right? Like he charged these guys out because they could see. He brought this one in and then pivoted 90, surged in, and then this final spot right there. So if he doesn't get a Banechan on here, I mean, even if he does, it's not great, right? Like if this is, I think this is this is the Blessing of the Gods unit. So this is the elite unit. Air elementals don't have any crushing. 24 attacks, so 48 attacks on 3s with elite. But if he doesn't get the Banechan, it's on 5s. If he does get the Banechan, it's on 4s. So let's say 48, he hits with, what is that, like 30? 30 some? Yeah, probably like 30-ish. Doing this math. That's some big math. 30-ish, have a 15 wounds. I mean, still like on a 10. I mean, don't don't go to your math teacher with what I just said because I don't know if that's exactly right. But quick table math. There's a chance that they don't pop him, and if he fails his Banechan or something, like that gets even worse. So 6 wounds on these guys, that's pretty neat. Or sorry, 11 wounds on those. That's a lot of wounds. That was that was great. So yeah. Anyway, and the thing is, like, his wounds are spread out, right? Like his horde has a bunch of wounds. These guys have a bunch of wounds, so his heal can't focus. Um, I think he has heal 8 across the army, and he only does 8 wounds. Okay, we can deal with that. We can definitely play like that's under. I think that's under. Um, but yeah, that is great. That is great because Palace Guard are mean little boys, and they're only nerf 17 with defense 4. So I'm gonna be 3s and 3s with elite. Sorry, I was leaning forward looking at the list. uh, So yeah, and he makes short work of the Dracon, of course. Reform like this keeps the Palace Guard in the front of the the air elementals, and he flies his critters up to chaff up my knights. Great play. Didn't see it coming. I kind of forgot the critters were back there, but he has 4 of them, and this is a great use of this one. I can't get around him anyway. I don't have nimble, and there's no 1-inch roll anymore. So you can like park your chaff right in front of a unit and just don't touch them. That's all. I'm not touching you. So yeah, my turn 4. I need a sip of coffee before we get into this. All right. That's a dead longhorn unit. We love it. We love to see it at range. We'll take that every day, all day. Oh, we're at 30 minutes. This one's worth it though. So yeah, I push up like this. I do take the flank here. Kind of crowding around the salty earth token. I'm pushing up. I'm pushing up to kind of give and spot. Make sure I'm giving inspiring out to where I need it. The palace guard go into the flank here. What I don't love is that. So yeah, I have like my heal barrage. Um, but like I kind of abandoned this. I don't like. I guess I figure I'm gonna come back, and make sure that I get that up. But I'm getting like really obsessed with what's going on in the middle here. I'm kind of like pushing everything up. Um, I mean, I do have the glade stalkers that can come over. My mage is on horse. I'm just thinking like, yeah, I can pick that up anytime. Um, I do heal here. I get him down to 5 wounds. That's great. And after combats, my palace guard, yeah, baby, they killed the earth element or the air elementals. This one killed the air elementals. Now we're looking better. We got those long bomb threats out of off the table, and I got a lot of muscle left. I mean, this unit only has 5 wounds. This is clean. That's a lot of palace guard to go through, and he's starting to lose units that can do it. So yeah, oh, also my critters chaff up the beasts of nature. I knew they were going to be important. I said to the critters, I said, please don't hurt them. Please don't hurt them. Just all you need to go do is go introduce yourself. You don't need to. You don't need to cause a scene. So they do 2 wounds to the beast of nature, which is surprising, I guess. His turn 4. I'm down to 13 minutes on my clock. He has 28, and then this happens. Forgetting that his mage was on a horse and can easily go around. And we're playing Salt the Earth, ladies and gentlemen, so he can remove a very important token that was in my backfield that I was counting on having. Okay, all right. It's not the end of the world. It is a victory point. So yeah, and it's kind of like a 2 point swing really because he has the one on the left side, and I would so this one kind of cancels that one out. Um, so him getting that it was such a smart play. It was just a good idea. Like I left it there, not thinking that his druid had enough movement, and he totally did. He's like movement 18. But I forgot that it was on horse. It's the one druid that's on a mount. Brutal, absolutely brutal. He brings his 4 striders over this way, 4 shamblers. These guys, they still have wounds on them. I'm trying. I was shooting at them, but I kind of gave up. Um, yeah. So not much he can do. He brings his regiment over this way. The beast of nature is going to try to kill the critters. I'm just waiting for a counterattack. I think these guys. What's that guy? Is that a druid? No, yeah, that's a druid. So yeah, he also has a druid here that if I do take this unit off in shooting, the druid can pop on. I'm kind of at the point if I had to do it again with this cav, I was so look. I didn't know that 2 regiments of air elementals were going to be dead, and a longhorn unit was going to be dead when I moved these guys here. Right? Like that's a scary center. If I had the foresight, I probably would have taken the cav here and then deal with the longhorns. But I didn't have that luxury of knowing how that was going to go. So yeah, all right. So my 5 moving along. The Did I take them in the front? I think this is in the front. So this is in the front. I don't remember if I had Jesse Boots or not for this. I still have the card there, so I'm kind of thinking that he might have cast Scorch Earth on them. I do 9, 10 wounds to the Beast of Nature, but he survives. I think it's a 17. Beast of Nature is nerf 17, defense 5. So yeah, my cav did decent. I must have had Jesse boots, or it wasn't hindered because that's a lot of wounds if I'm not Thunder 3. Uh oh, also, oh, that was a flank actually. Okay. That makes sense. This was a flank because he didn't kill the critters. The critters withdrew. I hit the flank here, but I think I was scorched earth and I did 10 wounds. That makes sense. That makes sense. So with all that going on, I'm like, well, I can take the Glade Stalkers up, keep shooting, keeping pressure here. Maybe if I get them low enough, I could just charge in and kill them with Glade Stalkers. Fours and fours with Elite, maybe. Who knows? I mean, if I get them low enough, it could happen. Just force that nerve check. This is my Palace Guard. They push. They killed off the Horde, and they ran like D6 forward, almost a full six, and stopped at his mage here. And so they're anchoring down. They actually have 4 unit strength in there. Now he has capabilities to get 4 unit strength in there to make that a tie. So yeah, we're gonna have to look at kind of how the unit strength is breaking down. Look at my clock. I'm down to 3 minutes. Uh-oh. I moved the Palace Guard up to the center. Yeah, so his 5. I'm at 3 minutes after all that. So turn 6 is going to be a quickie. He moves his Shamblers over. He gets his Tribal Warriors out of the arc of my Palace Guard. Not much I could do there. I went D6 forward. He attacks back with the Beast of Nature and does 6 wounds to my Cav. My critters are hanging out. And his other mages like kind of messing around over here. So my turn 6 is pretty rushed. I have 3 minutes left. And so to get an idea, obviously I got to kill that guy and face something. Maybe no, I can't even go ahead and get unit strength in there. I basically got to lock down these, make sure I'm locking down this one. And I thought about burning this one, but I might have burned this one if I didn't burn it, if he didn't burn this one. I don't know. I need I need to get right now in the bottom of 5. It is 1, 2 to 3. It's 2 to 3 right now in my favor. Some things can happen that could change that. I mean, he still has 1 unit strength here, but he only has 2 here. I have 4, and he has 2 there. But these guys are facing this direction. They can't get over here, I don't think. Yeah. They won't be able to back up enough. Even if he turns, 2 pivots and moves 6, it's not close enough because that's supposed to be 12 inches apart. Okay, so a lot going on. I have unit strength here, here. So it's 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Anyway, so let's see what happens. So my 6, I'm rushed. I have to go fast. I want to make sure I clear the Force of Nature. I push these guys up. I just push up. I spin this way, threaten all this way. He moved these guys up enough that I could kill, or I could at least block him if I kill him. I'm still on the token. I move this guy up just in case. You never know what could happen. And here's where I failed. So in pursuing these guys, I move them up. I'm like, well, if he charges me, that's not a big deal. Like, he's just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but kind of forgetting that his druid was there. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, why am I giving him that? It didn't make sense. And in my hustle, because I'm at no time, I needed to slide those guys over. So I have 3 unit strength on it right now. I could have had 5 with just a simple sidestep, because I'm not really even like, my shooting targets aren't great. Like, I could shoot those guys in the woods, but I'm never going to kill them, and it doesn't really matter. So I'm like, okay. Like, what could he do in turn 6? Let's find out. 12 minutes left. He has plenty of time to think about what he wants to do, and this is what he does. He takes the Tribal Warriors in here, trying to kill the... Oh, I also put my mage up, just to be sure. Maybe he can kill off, get some points there, back up, so he'll have 2, 3. It won't be enough because I have 4 here. I have 5 total. Locking down that objective. He has no other way to get any unit strength. But he charges here. Now I'm like, okay, even to overrun, he can't get to this marker, right? But and don't forget, he has a mage right here that can get on for another unit strength. But if he kills here, overruns, and gets a turn 7, that one's contested. And then it would be 2 to 2 and a contested, so he could draw. If somehow that happens, he kills here, charges the other Glade Stalkers, kills them, then I only have 1 unit strength, and he has 2. Oh boy. Oh boy. And I didn't get inspiring on them. I tried to cast it, it didn't go off from this mage. And there's no other inspiring. I might have just messed this game up. I might have just messed this game up. He kills there. First thing that had to fall. He doesn't kill here, which doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. And then he rolls a 1. Oh, thank God. What a game. What an absolute awesome game. Keith, you played so well, man. It was one of my favorite games. It was definitely my favorite game of the tournament. Not just because I won, but because I know the type of player that I'm going against to get a win here. It was phenomenal to me. Yeah, great game. And Keith, hey, we're 1-1, man. We got to get it. We got to get the next one. Uh, that might be a challenge. I might have to throw out a challenge to Keith. I might have to. That'll be fun next time we're together. Anyway, absolutely excellent game. I am actually 3-1 in the tournament. I'm kind of in striking distance of at least podium at this point. If I can get a good win in turn 5 in round 5, I could be in the top 3. I don't think I can chase the lead. I don't think I can bunny hop the leader. I think if he goes 5-0, there's no chance. I mean, even 4-1. Anyway, I'm close. There's 1 game left, guys, and I have it ready to battle report. So thank you so much for watching. I know this one was a little bit longer, but I feel like it was worth it. It was a great game, and I thank you all for watching. Catch you all on the next one.